Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Captain's Corner podcast. I am co-host Ryan Webb with my co-host Thomas Dempsey here. It is February 20th, 2025. We got a special guest today. I'll let my co-host Thomas give a little introduction.
How are you, Ram Nation? Suffolk Athletics is thriving yet again in the winter season. The men's ice hockey team is hosting their first playoff hockey game this upcoming Wednesday for the first time since the 1990-1991 season. So very exciting stuff coming from the men's ice hockey team along with the rest of the winter sports teams. It is our honor and privilege today to introduce our guest, Jill Eisenstadt.
Thanks
Jill,
for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. How's your week been? What's new? How are you doing?
Week's been great, working with the Free Jacks, just getting busy, doing anything PR and marketing that I can do for them. And yeah, it's just been a great beginning to something that's going to start a little bit more as we get into the season starting in March.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, we know Jill well from Suffolk and the Hub.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to, give a little introduction, what you've done for Suffolk and the Hub, what your role is, and kind of the team that you're on, because there's multiple teams within Suffolk and the Hub, the marketing media agency that's run by the students, and Kimberly Ring at Suffolk. So if you just kind of give us a rundown of your team and what you're kind of working on at the moment.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I've been in Suffolk and the Hub. This will be my third and final year. I am the account director for the New England Free Jack professional rugby team. They're an incredible community. They're an incredible organization. It's just the beginning working with them, and it's a lot of fun. But in terms of Suffolk and the Hub, they're our client. They were my client last semester, and we continue to grow with them and help them grow. And it's just an incredible experience as someone growing myself, to get out there and just to be able to do the things that we do. So this will be my second semester having them as a client. I've had a couple, maybe 10 team members, and it's just such a great experience. It builds community, makes great friends. It's just an awesome time, and I'm sure you guys are no stranger to that anymore. It's a good time.
Absolutely. Is the New England Free Jacks, they're two-time champs, three-time champs?
Two-time champs, yeah. So they won in 2023, and they won the Major League Rugby Championship again in 2024, and we're going for a three-peat, so it's pretty exciting to join a team that's on their way to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Is the season started yet, or is it something that's upcoming in the next few weeks? Because I feel like there's a lot of momentum behind the New England Free Jacks right now, but I'm not too sure what the scheduling is like or when their season officially starts.
Yeah, it's such a good question. So they started their preseason this past weekend, and they won against FCLA,
Nice.
which is a great start to the season, but their actual season starts March 15th or March 17th. I don't know the date exactly. I just know it's a St. Patrick's Day festival, and they put on a great experience. Any fan will tell you that they put on the best show that rugby has to offer in the U.S. So I can second that, and I totally recommend coming to a game. But yeah, it's similar to football. They play once every weekend, typically in the afternoon, and they make a day of it, just like football in the U.S. Yeah.
And for those that don't know, they're out of Gillette Stadium, is that correct, in Foxborough?
That's not correct,
Okay.
actually. Yeah, this is actually a
I
common
thought they were
misconception.
Gillette, yeah.
So they're not Gillette, so they are out of Quincy. They play at Veterans Memorial Park over there, which is a local stadium. I've actually heard a bunch of Suffolk students who are from there say that they played high school football on that field.
Awesome.
And there's a huge community over there. So not Gillette, but second best in my opinion.
Awesome. And you said that there's a day full of events, so could you walk us through what kind of that day would look like if Ryan and I were to attend a New England Free Jacks game, what that would look like?
Yeah, I mean, you get there and already there's energy. They have a pretty considerate fan base. They have tons of seasoned members. Everyone's there 9 a.m. sharp in the mornings, barbecues, potlucks, you name it, they have it going on. Everyone gets together, the team's families if they're from here. It's an incredible community, and that's before you even walk in the door. So you get in there, and so every game they have a festival. It's a different theme. They come up with new ones every year. One of my favorites that's coming up is a ski theme party festival, and they always partner with a really cool drink, beer, seltzer company, and do tastings and stuff like that. They have an awesome merch stand, which I totally recommend. I'm just a personal fan of a rugby jersey. So that's just right as you walk in. But one thing I gotta mention is their barbecue. They have full Southern barbecue. They got the cornbread. They got the pulled pork, their own sauces. You name it. It's just it's a good time. So that's right when you walk in. You know, the game hasn't even started yet, but then you watch the game and it's one of the most exciting things you've seen since a Tom Brady Patriots game. You know.
Yeah.
And then just to end it, they have a post-game festival party. Everyone can join on the field. You know, you get to go meet the players. There's a band playing always, and top to bottom, they nail it. It's a great time.
Yeah, it sounds like a little like tailgating action. We got to see if we can get some of the hockey guys down there.
Absolutely.
Is there like kind of any perks being a Suffolk student as far as getting to games? I'm unsure how that works. That'd be kind of cool to run down for those that don't know.
Tickets.
It's a fair question. Yeah, so you buy a ticket. I think a typical ticket goes for $40. No perks for Suffolk students, but we do have the perk of being near the Red Line, and the Red Line's how you get right to Quincy. You get off, and I think it's like a 5 to 7 minute walk right to the stadium.
Awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's so your involvement with Suffolk and the Hub, and even Suffolk in general? What's kind of your backstory of how you ended up at Suffolk, and then how you met Professor Ring and kind of joined the agency that you've been working so hard for these past 3 years?
It's one of my favorite stories to share, anything with Kim Ring. But just to get my background, I'm from Norton, Massachusetts. It's about 45 minutes to an hour south, depending on traffic these days. And so I wanted to stay in Boston. Growing up in Massachusetts, obviously I'm a huge sports fan. I love the Big Four, and now I'm in love with the Big Five. So that's what I like to call the Free Jacks. They're the fifth one, but huge Red Sox fan. I came out of the gate, loved sports, loved baseball. Grew up playing baseball. First girl on the boys' sports teams for baseball, starting pitcher,
awesome.
left-handed.
Let's go.
You always got to mention that, but. So I always loved sports. I loved Boston, and I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else, so I applied to Suffolk, and, I refused to do any campus tours, and I was like, nope, they're on the Freedom Trail, they're near Boston, they're near Fenway Park, it's the place for me.
That's all you needed here.
And so I had Kim for a marketing class, Marketing 210, Principles of Marketing, and
I had that as well.
Yeah.
In the same class, yeah.
She inspire you guys?
Yeah.
You just hear her speak once, and you're in for whatever she's got to do, whatever she's got for you. So I joined Suffolk in the Hub in the summer, and I was their head copywriter. I was on the digital marketing team with a bunch of seniors that I was scared of at the time. And
Wow.
I wrote a few blogs here and there, but I told Kim, I was like, I kind of, I really like what you do here, and I want to step it up. And she was trying to step up the club too. It's not really a club, but
Was that
like
sophomore summer, freshman summer?
it was freshman summer.
Freshman summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely big, being with the upperclassmen.
Yeah, on Zoom.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Oh,
Yeah, but it was, just a surreal experience. Just initially off the bat, learning from Kim, and I was like very determined to continue that. And our relationship is probably the best relationship I have at Suffolk University. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier.
So being your third year in Suffolk in the Hub, I'm sure you've seen, the ups, the downs, the everything about Suffolk in the Hub. What's been your favorite part of this progression, though, and where do you see Suffolk in the Hub moving in the future?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, like I said, joining and just being in a group of a bunch of seniors who I was afraid of, to now saying that every time we have a monthly meeting, I'm at a family reunion. It's incredible to me to see what type of community we can build, and especially to see something that Kim has built.
Right.
She's an impressive person, and I always like to mention her in that regard. But every single one of my friends is in Suffolk in the Hub. Every person I'm close to is in it, and it's family. I don't really know how else to say it. We have a great time. We have the same passions. We do the same work, and we like what we do. It's not about anything else than spending time with each other, learning, and getting some work done.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Kim definitely inspires a lot of passion in the group, and unites it as a family. And is there any specific advice that she's ever given you, or something she's kind of told you or your team within Suffolk and the Hub that you've kind of held dear these past 3 years and kind of helps you push forward?
It's another good question. Anything she says, you listen, and she's always giving good advice. She's a phone call away 4 a.m., 10 p.m. You
Yeah.
know, she's the person I go to. Another thing that I think is important to mention is I'm a first-generation student. My parents don't help me out in the regard to like, you know, FAFSA. They never heard of that before, and things you do in college. I was kind of on my own, and that's okay. I'm a very motivated person, but every once in a while you get a little lost, and Kim's always been the person I've gone to fix that loss, and she's done a great job, and
That's
here
really
we are.
special. That's really special, and I find that she's genuine in her feedback, and she knows you. She knows Ryan and I super well, so if I go and approach her for anything, like, she's going to give me the realest, harshest feedback, whether it is for the best. Everyone kind of needs a person that's kind of going to tell them how everything is, and I think that's for the best. And she's helped us grow as students, as she helped us join Suffolk in the Hub, start this podcast, be a member of our own team, and she's really been someone that's been in our corner since ever taking that first Marketing 210 class. So we have a lot of great things to say about you, Professor Ring. We're big fans, and thank you for all that you've done for us.
I kind of wanted to get back. So you mentioned you chose Suffolk because of the location, downtown in the city. Your freshman year coming in, did you live in the dorm? Did you get to a Red Sox game right away? Did you go to the Bruins? Like, what was your kind of first year experience coming in as a freshman and a first generation college student?
Yeah, it was very, very unique for me, very different for me. I lived in Court Street. It was like this, I believe it was the second year that they were having students live in that building, and it was a major transition. I lived in one of the smallest rooms they had, and that was new to me, you know, living on my own, but I caught a Red Sox game, I caught a Bruins game, I went to the Celtics, you name it. I did what I could do, but one of my goals for freshman year was to take the train and get myself a Fenway Frank, and I can't tell you how many times I've done that since.
Nice.
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's one of the best foods in Boston. But yeah, freshman year was an interesting year. You know, to be honest, I was not the happiest here, and I think a lot changed when I joined Suffolk in the Hub, and a lot of things turned around for me, and I think that path that I was a little unsure of was definitely digging itself a little bit farther.
Yeah, and kind of going along with, you know, kind of the struggles at first that you mentioned, is there any advice that you would kind of give your younger self? Say if you're coming in as a freshman now, what would Jill tell younger Jill?
Right. You know, go with your gut and just keep going. You know, every day you face failure, every day you face adversity. You know, the tea's 20 minutes away, you know, even things like that. But you keep going and you keep doing things, and it leads you to places you didn't expect to go. I didn't even expect to be a marketing student. I went into Suffolk as an economics major, not even knowing what it meant.
Wow.
And I met Kim, and that all changed.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I was talking to an alumni last night, Griffin Clark, who graduated about 2 years ago, and we talked about how adversity could be, you know, single-handedly the most important component of our life, because you learn a lot through adversity and overcoming adversity. And we talked about how, like muscles, in order for a muscle to grow, a muscle has to break. Like, there has to be some kind of, you know, adversity you face in order to become stronger. So if you're not facing adversity, there's no way you can improve. There's no way you can get better and learn from your past experiences. So it sounds like you took the best of your adversity and made it into something that turned out to be a great experience, and Suffolk in the Hub kind of paved the way for you. I do have a quick question, a general question about Suffolk. Is there like one special tradition or event that Suffolk holds each year that's your favorite? Like, what is your favorite kind of Suffolk event or tradition?
It's a great question. You know, I think Suffolk's one of those schools where anything becomes a tradition. You kind of take what you can get, and there's one thing that I'm really hoping for in my last year at Suffolk is the Rumble at Ridgeway event with the dodgeball tournament, and I'm looking forward to that and seeing an entire community of students come together for something that's really fun, something that's exciting. You know, it's competition, it's a good time, and you know, everyone likes a good competition, so it'd be a nice one last hurrah to be able to do something like that with my peers at Suffolk before we graduate. Yeah,
I definitely think while we're on the subject of traditions and talking about Suffolk and the Hub, I think Thomas and I, one of our favorite things we partook in this year for the first time was the Friendsgiving with everybody. Once again, Kim set that up. everyone bringing different dishes, and it was kind of nice to just, have something, because not everybody has a family to go back to.
Yeah.
So once again, bringing that family together. But that was really cool for myself, and I know Tom and I talked about that a couple times.
It was the first ever Friendsgiving I've ever been a part of, and
as well.
And it's all thanks to Professor Ring and Suffolk in the Hub.
That's incredible.
On that note, we really want to thank you for your time today and hearing your story and how far you've come since freshman year. And Suffolk and the Hubs, we're very lucky to have you, and you've done a lot for the agency, and I know you're doing a lot for the New England Free Jacks. So good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. It was great to be on.
Absolutely. You had a lot of fun today.
Good. Yeah,
great.
me too.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see you back on the show more.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Joe.
Yes.
We appreciate everyone who tuned in to Captain's Corner this week. Once again, we just want to give a shout out to Suffolk in the Hub, Professor Ring, and our co-host and Suffolk in the Hub partner, Jill. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you.